Thank you so much for joining me today. I am Malika, and this is Life with Leeks. I don't know if you're like me or not, but bacon is my weakness. And so when I decided not to eat meat anymore, I literally suffered at the thought of not having bacon in my life. And to be quite honest, in September, when I went away on vacation, I literally had bacon every morning. And it wasn't even always good, but I couldn't not eat it because I knew that that was the end. So I've been seeing lots of recipes for bacon flavored eggplant and mushrooms. So I thought I'd give it a try. I love my mushrooms, but I've never had eggplants before. And I've seen a lot of people brush the seasoning on, but I decided to do mine a little differently. So let's get started. First, I want to slice my eggplant as thinly as possible. As you can see, mine is just a tad bit overripe, and it was beginning to turn a little bit brown, but I used it anyway. Next, you want to go ahead and cut your mushrooms up just a little bit, not too small. Then comes the brine, the bacon brine. What I used was 2 tablespoons of maple syrup. I used 4 tablespoons of Bragg's amino liquids, or you could use coconut aminos, whatever you prefer. I also used 1 tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce. I can never pronounce that. Worcestershire sauce. Then I added 2 teaspoons of smoked paprika. I added half a teaspoon to 1 teaspoon of liquid smoke. It just depends on what you prefer. If you like it spicy, add more. 1/8 of a teaspoon of garlic powder, which I actually forgot in this recipe, but you can add that in as well. 1/8 of a teaspoon of cayenne pepper. 1 teaspoon of black pepper. And then you want to add 3 tablespoons of oil of your choice. I use my favorite, which is avocado and safflower oil. However, when you add your oil, you want to whisk it in, which I also forgot. So whisk and then dump your 3 tablespoons in. This should be enough to cover 3 eggplants. I'm sorry, not 3, 2 eggplants. However, I only used 1 and then saved the sauce for a later date. So instead of brushing the brine on my eggplant, I decided to dip it. So I took each piece, dipped it in the brine, and then wiped a little of the excess off. And with the actual mushrooms, I just dumped them all in, let them sit for a few minutes, and then I took them out. You want to heat your oven to 250 degrees for at least an hour, depending on the thickness and the pans, of course. You can use your judgment and your likeness. I decided, however, to use my air fryer, which cut my cooking time to about 15 minutes per batch. The issue was they were not crispy at all, but it was okay for this particular recipe because I was adding it to as a topper to another dish. So next time I will use the oven and see what results I get when I do it that way. But the taste was surprisingly fantastic. Don't get me wrong. It didn't taste like bacon, but it had a resemblance to it with the smoky flavors. I love the mushroom, but the eggplant here really took first place. So give it a try and let me know what you thought of it. Thanks for stopping by.